And now to political matters. Legislators in the Rivers State House of Assembly have withdrawn the impeachment notice that was previously sent to the Governor Siminalayi Fubara. The lawmakers officially began their sessions in the state capital of Port Harcourt on Wednesday. They gathered solely to focus on the withdrawal of the impeachment notice against Governor Fubara during their deliberations. And this follows a meeting between the President Bola Tinubu and the warring party in the Aso Villa in Abuja on Monday. And to talk about this, I'm being joined live on the news by a human rights lawyer, Barrister Festus Oguns. Good morning. Glad to have you join me.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. What do you make of the lawmakers defecting from PDP to APC, and what's the impact on Nigeria's democracy?
To be very clear, looking at the provision of Section 109, 1G of the 1999 Constitution, a lawmaker that defects from the party that sponsored him to another political party is liable to have his seat being declared vacant, because you cannot just defect from a party that sponsored you into another party. That shows sort of politics without principle. The only exception to this is where there is a division in the political party, or where there is a merger between the political party that sponsored the lawmaker and some other political party. But in the case of Rivers State, the question is, before defecting to the APC, was there any legal or constitutional basis that could warrant the defection? In my respectful view, I do not think there is any. First, I do not see a case of merger between PDP and another political party. And if you ask me, there is no division, so to speak, in PDP that could warrant their defection. Some may bring up the argument that, look, PDP is so divided and all that. The question I've been asking, and I'm yet to get an answer to, is that, was it that the division in PDP started yesterday? Was there no division, so-called division in PDP, when they were sponsored in that political party, to the point that they were elected? It was now after they were sponsored, they campaigned under PDP, they were elected under PDP. When they now got to the house, they now remembered that there is division in the party. So in my view, I do not think that could be the intention of the Constitution.
If I may just quickly chip in there, talking about PDP, now INEC has been barred from conducting by-elections for these lawmakers who defected. What options are left for PDP?
Look, when you say INEC has been barred, we have to put it in proper context. An ex parte order was, issued by the court. And looking at our procedural law in Nigeria, an ex parte order should not last more than 7 to 14 days. It's just a temporary order before the hearing of the substantive application before the court. So, to my mind, I believe that order should not last beyond 7 or 14 days. 7 days, in fact. So, at the expiration of that order, because there is a vacancy, in light of the provision of Section 191G of the Constitution, there is a vacancy upon defection without any legal basis, then INEC is obligated to conduct an election. But I am confident that because that order that we are talking about was an ex parte order, that's an order gotten in the absence of the other party, so it is usually short-lived. At the expiration of that ex parte order, I am very confident that the court will not restrain INEC from doing its constitutional duty.
Now, let's talk about President Bola Tinubu's intervention in the Rivers State crisis between Governor Fubara and Wike, the former governor of Rivers State. Now, what do you make, being a lawyer, do you think his 8-point agenda or peace accord or truce deal, like people have called it, is constitutional?
His intervention is unconstitutional. In fact, grossly unconstitutional. We are not running a gerontocracy. This is not an anocracy. This is a constitutional democracy. Some people have defected from their political party. They've joined another political party, which constitutionally makes their seat vacant. Some commissioners have left their office. They've resigned. In fact, in their letters that they made public, they stated reasons why they have resigned. Now the president is asking the governor to recall the commissioners. I do not think the powers of the president even extend to that. But at the end of the day, come to look at it, whether from the Fubara side, whether from the Wike side, the question begging for answer is, who is at loss? It is the good people of Rivers State, nothing more. Because at the end of the day, we must not afford to die in their war. Today, we can see the rough fight between Wike and Fubara. You can see demolitions going on here and there at the expense of taxpayers' money. At the end of the day, they will soon sit on the round table and they will settle their dispute. At the end of the day, who is at loss? It is the Nigerian people. Because as it stands now, I do not believe there is governance in Rivers State. So it's the constitutional crisis going on in Rivers State speaks to the soul of our constitutional democracy.
Let's talk about the Ijaw ethnic group who have said, they've said, you know what, we're going to court to challenge this peace deal brokered by President Bola Tinubu. What do you make of that move?
It's not justiciable. The intervention of the president, although unconstitutional, but it's not justiciable. When we say it's not justiciable in law, it's not something that can be litigated in court. It's a political matter. It can't be litigated in court. Or what would they say is a law that has been broken by the peace accord? I think it's more of politics than law. If you ask me, it's more of politics than law. And at the end of the day, like I would say, we need to go back to a drawing board.
Okay, talking about the law right now,
yes.
What does the law say about cases like this, where party members or lawmakers are defecting, cross-carpeting from one political party to the other?
I've made it clear. The position of our law is very clear. Even to a governor, the position of the law is very clear that by virtue of Section 109, 1G of the Constitution, when you are elected on a platform of a political party, you cannot arbitrarily or unilaterally move from the political party that elected you to another political party. If you do so, your seat as a lawmaker will be declared vacant and another election has to be conducted so that we can have a properly elected legislature. The only exception under that particular provision of the Constitution is where, first, there is a division in the political party that you left, that sponsored you, or in a situation where either of the, in a situation where the political parties are simply not at peace with themselves, or the political party has merged with another political party to form a new political party, the way the ACN of this world, form together to create APC of today. In that instance, if you were in ACN at that time, you can defect to another party because your political party have formed an alliance with another party, or your political party have merged with another party, or in a situation where there is crisis. But my position is this: since the crisis in the PDP is not fresh, it's not new, all over the states, all over the federation, there was crisis before you were elected. So I'm saying that it is not the intention of the law that you now begin to trace the crisis that you met before your election. You saw the crisis, you joined the political party, you contested under that platform, you won the election under that platform, while we still had cases of division in the party, crisis in the party. But when you are now elected into the House, you are now saying there is crisis in the political party, there is division in the political party. Why? When you see the volunteer not fit to injuria, when you are inside a river, you cannot complain of cold. So, my position is that in light of the provisions of our Constitution, in light of the constitutional framework of our country, you cannot make reference of a crisis that you met in the party. It should be a fresh crisis. If it were to be a fresh political crisis in the party, then it would have been reasonable. But the PDP in Rivers State said there is no crisis.
Now, talking about crisis, let's go to these critical parts of this whole, saga happening in Rivers State. Some persons have said, look, Governor Fubara himself signed this peace accord. But some other persons have said, you know what, he signed under duress. Do you think in law that excuse is tenable, that the governor of Rivers State, happens to have signed that peace accord under duress?
Well, I would not want to speak for the executive governor.
No, I'm not saying you should speak. I'm saying in law, is it tenable while filing in
duress
court?
is known to law. Okay. You can sign a document, but you might sign it under undue influence or under duress. That is known to law. But I'm saying that the whole peace accord is not a legal matter.
It's not a legal
matter. You can't go to court to challenge it. You can't go to court for interpretation. It is a political document. It is not a document known to the Constitution or any law, either in Rivers State, enacted by the Rivers State House of Assembly or enacted by the National Assembly. So it's a pure political matter. But for me, what I'm really concerned about, if you ask me, is that whether the rift between Wike and Fubara, I'm saying at the end of the day, who is at loss? Governance is currently, so if you ask me, is suspended because governance is a serious business. It's suspended in Rivers State.
I'm afraid that's the most we can take on this news. Thank you so much for your time on the news. Barrister Festus Ogun, human rights lawyer. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.